Yo, welcome to another edition of the Uncle Luke Show podcast. You see, I got red on. You see, I got red. There's no affiliation now. No affiliation. I just got the red on because it's Bloody Friday. It's Bloody Friday. It's just Bloody Friday. It's just blood all over the place. Put it on the doors. No, I ain't gonna go biblical. But I want to welcome you guys to another edition of yours truly, Uncle Luke Show, the podcast. Hey, look, I just love the fact that you guys are engaged. Everybody is engaged to the podcast. Everybody on my YouTube channel, Uncle Luke TV. Everybody on my Twitter, Uncle Luke Real One. Everybody on Instagram, Uncle Luke Real One. Everybody on my Facebook page, Uncle Luke Facebook page. I mean, come on, man. Y'all, this podcast is growing big and big and big and bigger, and it's just all over the country. I see all y'all in the chat. I see, let me know where you're from. I see everybody in the chat. People from Carolina, people from Houston, people from Dallas, people from overseas, people from everywhere around the world, New York, Atlanta, I see you in the chat. I see Detroit. Detroit is my number one. Detroit is my number one. I love y'all. One thing about Detroit, when it comes to Uncle Luke, Detroit will go to the door for their boy, Uncle Luke. And it's all love. It's all love, Detroit. Hey, man, one thing about yours truly, I love everybody. I love everything. And let's just get right into it. The show is going to be a spectacular show today. We have a lot of things to talk about. We got a lot of things to clear up because there's a lot of things been said since my last show. Since my last show, woo, the internet just been smoking. I guess I get fed the algorithm. I just fed the people what they wanted and fed the people what they don't want. And people just came out the woodwork. People I don't even know. They just started talking shit. They just started talking trash. It became, whoa, what are we doing? I mean, I'm like, I don't even know these people. And they just chiming in and they're talking about a situation that they really don't know about. But one thing about me, I don't run from no smoke. I don't run from no smoke. I love it. I love when people get engaged, whether you like it or not, whether you like what I say or not, because I do not want everybody to agree with me. That may sound, I'm not a dictator. I'm not a narcissist. I enjoy the fact that some of you disagree with what I have to say. I respect your opinion because I am the one who fought for free speech. I am the one who went to the Supreme Court, Mr. Samuels, and I'm gonna get to you, not the one who's here. I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to you, my brother. I'm gonna get to you, Mr. Dorset. I'm gonna get to y'all. But I'm the one who fought for free speech. Went all the way to the Supreme Court on my dime. No help from nobody. And so I would never be the one to say that you don't have an opinion or anybody don't have an opinion about what I have to say. But when it gets personal, that's where I draw the line. That's why I have a problem, because I'm never going to get personal with nobody. I'm never going to get no personal with nobody. I'm going to just keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it 100. And I'm going to tell you one thing about Luther Campbell so that you may not know. If you were my friend and you would know me, or if you were somebody that I was associated with before, one thing I don't do is I don't lie. I may be everything else in the world, but you want to know, but I don't lie. And I don't associate myself with people that do that. I don't repeat what liars may say. You're a known professed liar. Yes, that may be who you are. I would never repeat what a liar may say. So with that said, people, let's get right on into it. So, hey, Mr. Samuels, Asante Samuels, had a lot to say about University of Miami football. Last time I checked, I don't think he went to University of Miami. I'm like, where does he come in at when we're talking about University of Miami and a person over there? And again, let me just say this before I even get too deep into this dude here. It all comes about my opinion of Kevin Beard, the offense, and all this. And I know people have a tendency of jumping on tackles, and people have podcasts, and people want to, you know, all of a sudden they want to get into, they want to find their way into a conversation that they really don't belong in. But they have the right to their opinion, because just like I said before, I fought for free speech for everybody to be able to chime in whenever they want to chime in and say what they want to say and get it off their chest. But I'm just wondering, where did this guy come from? And so I had to do a little research on Mr. Samuels, Mr. Asante Samuels. And I looked at his long record, because I don't know the brother at all. Don't know him at all. And in this instance, I'm gonna take the high road. I'm gonna take the road. I'm gonna take the high road, because I am an OG, unlike Mr. Samuels would assume or say that I'm not. But we'll break that down. We'll break down the definition of what is OG and who the fuck I am and what the fuck I do and what the fuck I stand for and all that. Because I think when the brother was playing at some of the teams that he was playing at, and he wasn't here, because originally I didn't think the brother was from here. But I did the research, and I realized the brother is from Broward. He's from, Broward County. So that's a great thing. I'm happy that he's from there. I'm happy. And we're going to get into that whole part. So I'm trying to find out, why is this brother chiming into a conversation about a coach at the University of Miami and one of my former players. But before I even get into this, brother, let me break this part down of how all this came without going back into the coach, because I don't really want to, I said I was done with the conversation about the coach, but being that these people have chimed in, now I have to bring this shit back up of how did we get here? Because it always becomes, how did we get here? Me, Luther Campbell, is a high school football head coach at Miami Edison Senior High. One of my players, Nathaniel Joseph, better known as Ray Ray, played at the University of Miami, just like a number of other of a lot of other kids of mine. Just like whether it was Amari Cooper, Carlton Davis, who's getting ready to play this weekend. Shouts out to New England. Carlton, I want to see you do. Tutu Atwell came out of my youth program. Just like Artie Burns, who I coach. Just like Kalijah Kansas, who came out of my program coaching me a year at Jackson. Just like so many other kids. Chad Johnson, y'all see Chad on the nightcap. Yes, Chad is a product of Liberty City Optimists, a program that I co-founded, that I put my money up, Asante, my money, and started the program up 35 years ago, my brother. So we gonna let you know about who you fucking with right through this here right here. Because I don't think you know who you fucking with, bro. I think you might need to go talk to somebody when you talking about and whether is an OG or is a triple OG or who, what the fuck. Because when you talk about me, you that says a lot about your character, when it comes to the streets. So let me just say this. And what I have brought to the table when it comes to the culture, South Florida, the state of Florida, Black people, what I stand for. So as I go through this conversation of getting to where we at, my brother, I'm gonna educate your motherfucking ass, because you don't know. And you're a young guy. Like I say, maybe you were playing football and you were focusing on that at the Eagles or the teams you was playing for, which, by the way, you have an exceptional career. I wasn't aware of you, and I learned a lot about you. You this fucking football player. I would never. The one thing about me, I keep it a buck. I keep it 1,000. You a hell of a football player, my brother. You're a hell of a football player. But what you going into right now is some different shit, because you're fucking with the wrong one, and you're fucking with other people. And I don't, we're gonna leave it like that. So here we go. I'm a high school football coach, Miami Edison Senior High. My job is to coach kids up, mentor kids, get kids prepared and ready academically and on the football field, and to be productive and good young men. The other part of that comes, not my job is to get my kids in college. So I get on the phone, and my phone is filled up with everybody in America, whether it's Kirby Smart, whether it's Sarkisian, whether it's Lane Kiffin, whether it's Nick Saban, you name it. Whether it's Willie Taggart, well, he's not coaching no more. Well, I mean, you name it. Willie Simmons, you name it. My phone is filled up with coaches because that is my job as a head football coach. That was the job of the head football coach at your high school also, Mr. Samuels and Mr. Dorsett. That was their job. And if you call them up and ask them what their job was, they'll tell you that. So the shit don't happen because you're talented. You're talented. There are a lot of people that are not as talented as you guys maybe have been, but you still have to have the backing of the head coach. And because the head coach is such a strong person, they don't fuck over that head coach players. Because like right now, coaches are traveling all over South Florida, and they're going to meet the head coach, and they're asking who's the next guy and who is who. How that coach can then not coming back to that school? How that coach cannot come back to that school? If that coach fucks over one of that high school coach's players. There's a lot of times where he can't even come back in the region. That's how we roll down here in South Florida. I know you guys are not in football. Y'all play football or playing it or whatever you may be doing, but y'all don't know how this shit works. We have a close-knit community here in South Florida football. If Jones and Chaminade call up and say, man, this motherfucker did some bullshit to one of my players, or if Rowe called up from Carroll City, hey, man, he did some bullshit to one of my players, or if Knight from Homestead called up, they did some bullshit to one of my players out of Homestead, we'll address it. We'll address it. And if it's, hey, we ain't gonna ever try to stop somebody from going somewhere, but we'll say, hey, look, you need to go holler at that coach you got an issue with. Until you straighten that up, you can't come into our schools. That's how it works. Unfortunately, you guys don't know. But just going to this situation here, when a coach crosses the line, but before we get to crossing the line, let's go right here. Before we get to the crossing of the line, let's go right here. How do you get, as a high school coach, so your responsibility is to get the kids in college. Now, there are times where kids end up doing, it don't pan out for them at that particular school. Or they get in trouble. Or they smoking and they fail the test. Or they do just something stupid. Or they're doing the right thing. And then you have that conversation. Coach, I want to get in the portal. In this case, Mr. Ray, Coach, I'm getting in the portal. Okay, Raves. The next thing, the head coach and every fucking head coach that coaches high school football, I don't give a shit if it's Fyron in Georgia. I don't give a shit who the fuck it is. When that kid calls up and say, Coach, I'm getting in the portal. He calls mama, and the next person he has to call is the head coach, his former head coach. Guys who don't know, why does he have to call the head coach? You just don't jump in the portal like this some kind of NFL free agent shit and they go plucking motherfuckers out. No, he calls his head coach because the first thing the head coach does is say, why are you getting in the portal? What's the problem? Why did you get in the portal, or why are you getting in the portal? Well, coach, these are the things that happen. In the meeting, coach is going to say shit all day. They're going to try to push buttons and trigger people and do all kind of things. But then when you cross the line, in the front of everybody in the group, and said to me, that's why I would never, this is the diamond thing, I would never recruit another player from a Miami Edison Senior High sorry-ass fucking school. Really? That's crossing the line. The kid tells me everything leading up to that. But when you say that, that is when you cross the line. That is when I have to address that. Because the last time I checked, you have Chaminade, Heritage, Northwestern, St. Thomas, Columbus every now and then, Central. So everybody else outside of those schools are sorry-ass schools that you won't recruit. Really? So every other school outside of those schools who consistently win state championships are considered as sorry-ass schools that you would not recruit. If there's any coach that you go to and say, if a coach crossed that line and said that to one of your former players and other things, and your former player jumped in the portal, ask the coach, will they have a problem with that or not? Ask the coach, will they have a problem with that or not? This is the way you do things. If you originally say in the spring to people, we ain't going back down that line, that this player would never play, then you know what you do? You go to that player and you say, hey, look, man, I don't think the depth chart is real bad. You might want to consider getting in the portal. That's the right thing to do. Do that happen? Yes, it does. I asked Coach Friedman, the head coach of Notre Dame. He came to my office this year, and I said, Coach Friedman, I was wondering, the quarterback that you played, what happened to the one who went in the national championship game? He looked so good. He's poised. He threw the ball good. I just knew he was going to be the starting quarterback. What happened to him? Coach Friedman said, Luke, we had a competition. Competition. Key word. That is football. We had a competition, Luke. And you know what? In that competition, the other young man won the job. I say, so is he? He said, so I went to the kid and I say, look, man, he won the job. We're going to go with him. If you want to get in the portal, I fully understand. I'm here to support you in any way. Young man hopped in the portal. He went somewhere else. He played. That's a real coach. That's being a man. That's not bullshitting a kid and have a kid sitting up on a podium and you're telling people that he's not going to play. And then find out about these things. That's not good. And then you go into the season and the kid then you going through the camps, and then you get up to the Notre Dame game and you tell the kid you're not starting. So that's fine. I do that all the time. No, or not go up to the game. You're going to know, the week you're not going to play. You're not starting. But I know it's a long year. If it's this close in football, we got this guy going here, this guy going there. Mind you, when it comes to receivers, I'm pretty sure you know Mr. Dorset and Mr. Samuels and DBs, because you're DB and you're receiver. You know everybody play all the positions. So you ain't a receiver. Only position on the football field, only one guy can play. It's quarterback. You can play linebacker, you can play inside linebacker, outside linebacker, all this shit. You can play linebacker, you can go down like my good friend Derek Thomas and go to the DN. Or my other good friend Lawrence Taylor. You can play one technique, three technique. You can be at DN, go to the three. You can do all that. Only place you can't do that is that quarterback. So they create the narrative that Ray is competing against Malachi. And Malachi's been, but they forgot about the other receivers. What about 0, 7, everybody else? So when you play receiver, it's not one position. So I don't want to go too deep. I don't want to get back into that. So you guys know the game. I assume you do. So I'm looking and I'm seeing this shit online. Look, Mr. Samuels jumps out there. Shut up. You haven't done shit but run your mouth, pimp. You a fake OG. Mr. Samuels. Fake OG. Then I jump out there and say something back to him. Here's my resume. Now, mind you, I gave him, because that OG shit is two different things. OG shit is two different things. I gave my resume of my park. The Charles Hadley Park that I renovated, the 28-acre park that I renovated. We got senior homes redid. Not senior homes redid. We got senior building redid. We got a brand new state-of-the-art youth center, basketball gym. Never had a basketball gym in Liberty City and forever, ever. First one. Redid the football field. By the way, my name is on it. My other co-founder name is on the building at the youth center. We got Liberty City Optimists over 35 years. 35 years. You talk about Duke Johnson came out of my program. You talk about Chad Johnson, who was one of the first. You talk about Keon Hardiman, who's the commissioner, Miami-Dade County. You talk about Devontae Freeman. You talk about Darrell Esther. You talk about Charles Gaines Jr. You talk about Willis McGahee, he played in my program. You can talk about Kalijah Cansey, first-round draft pick. Oh, we can keep talking, fucking Asante. We can keep talking, boss. We can keep talking. You don't know about who the fuck I am, or you finna get a lesson, boss. That came out of my youth program. It's still standing right now. Park on full. Still standing, boss. Partnership with the county, partnership with the city. Over $2 million in funding. Aftercare program with a waiting list of 200, 700 kids on a year-round basis. You talk about some real nigga shit. But then I say, while I'm coaching, okay, let me go to the high school, go over to Miami Central. I like it over here. Let me go to Northwestern. Who's at Northwestern, that coach? Artie Burns, first-round draft pick. Mari Cooper. Now, hold on. Let me help you out, Samuels. I'm the guy who many, many years ago, by talking to Coach Trupateller of Tennessee, Coach, you got to get these guys to the camp. I'm the guy who took a little Jeffrey Godfrey, who, by the way, played at Miami Central. And him and Freeman and all of them took them around the country. We get on a bus, or not a bus, but a fucking van, and we driving, Mike Love, me, Jeffrey Godfrey, Daddy. We got the kids in the back, and we taking them to Tennessee camp. We taking them to Georgia camp. We taking them all over the place. We just having fun. We laughing and giggling, and we got the kids and exposing the kids to something they never got exposed to. And once I learned that once I get these kids out of this community, similar to myself when I was doing all kind of crazy shit in them streets, because Asante, I was really on that. I was really, really on that. Nothing I ain't proud of. I was really on that. I was on that. I was really on that. No matter what's going to check my resume in that department, I wouldn't show that. I was really, really on that. So I'm not proud of that. And will not go back to that. Because I'm smarter than that. I'm on that money shit. So when you talk about OG in what department? OG in what department? There's street cred, and there's cred, football cred, and then there's music industry cred, and there's political cred. So which cred you talk about? Which one you talk about is a fake OG? You're playing with the wrong one, bro. You're playing with the wrong one, son. But again, I know you don't know because you was going away for a long time playing football. Just like I go out on tour. You see all this shit back here? But I still came back to my community. It wasn't about me riding around in my big pimp mobile, since you want to call me a pimp. It wasn't about me riding around in my pimp mobile. I got it like that. and the rest of y'all ain't shit. No, it was me who brought up my community. It was me who brought up my fucking community and every part of all of our community, including Broward County too. So I was never on that. Yes, there was a time where it was a Dade versus Broward, and see you, when I did the research, you, Samuels, and Dorset, y'all trying to pull us back to that rabbit hole of Dade versus Broward. I will not let you do that. I would not let you do that. Because we work too hard. Niggas, real niggas on the street, we work too hard to stop that. Because that was some real bad times. It was real bad. You just don't understand how bad it was. It was real serious in these streets when it came to that. We worked very hard. I worked very hard with people like Ron Man and Big George and a whole lot of street guys over there in Broward County. And we said we're going to squash that because we all South Florida and we need to lock up together. Yeah, right in the middle of that. So we don't do that. We don't do that, what you guys doing, because when I look at it, I see y'all, I know y'all caping for Beard because Beard is from Broward. I fuck with Beard. But when Beard or anybody cross the line, Beard know me. I never looked at Beard as a Broward dude, Dade dude, any kind of dude. No. We are not going back down that rabbit hole, son, because y'all ain't living like that. That affects these kids. That affects these kids, and I will not be the one to go down that rabbit. Do you know how much work we've done? Kids from Broward come to Dade and they play football, the Hurricanes and everybody, Lauderhill Lakes and all these people, they embrace them. They come into our neighborhood. They come into Miami Gardens. They come everywhere. We go up there. They fucking lay out the food and all that shit and everything. We go to Pompano, the Chiefs and the Cowboys. Nigga, we different right now. All of us love each other. That shit you dudes are on right now, you ain't go, no, we ain't doing that. Because this shit is together. That's why the fuck you think Chaminade can be so good? If we were still on that, if Jeremiah Smith be over here, fuck no. If you want to go back to them days, think Jeremiah Smith could go across the county line and go play at Chaminade? No, not back then. Think Bullet? Think JoJo? Think all the motherfuckers from Cal City could go over there and play? And go over there to St. Thomas and play? We don't do that no more, guys. So don't even come with the bullshit. So, OG, stay right here. Let's stay right here. Definition of OG. According to ChatGPT. Definition of OG. Authentic. No pretending. You're talking to the nigga who went to the Supreme Court so you can get your black ass on here to say what the fuck you want to say, and every other motherfucker saying what the fuck they saying on records. You did the nigga. Me. I stand on the wall for that shit. Me. And you know who I was on the wall with? Know how I got to that? It was a brother out of Broward County named Charles Friedman. He owned a record store. This is how we fuck with each other. And Nick Navarro went and locked him up, put him in jail. Who the fuck came to his support? Me. Why did he sell the record? Because he fucked with me. That shit is over. So, ain't no motherfucker pretending here, boss. No, not a pretender. Reputation speaks for itself. Streets. Fuck that. In the industry. This industry. Who I discovered? Pitbull, Trick Daddy, H-Town, Two Live Crew, JT Money, who I inspired. Go ask Ted Lucas, my good friend, one of the largest record companies in the country. Go ask the boys over there in Broward. Reputation. What they know me for? They know me. I stand on the door for my people. I stand on the wall, bruh. Okay. We're going down the list of what's the definition of an OG? Stood the test of times. I am here. Looking good. Smelling good. Doing good. Stand the test of time. Still be relevant to this day. Because when I go, last time I checked, when I go line up at an arena or some big ass field, it's sold out. My brother, fake ain't doing shit. It's sold out. That's my day job. Asante Samuel. That's my day job. Okay. Stood the test of time. Luke, how you keep doing it, my brother? Because I go out there and run, get myself together, because I've always had a clean face and I always stood on business. I always gave him a show. I always did the right thing for people. When I found Pitbull, I took him. Pitbull was a street guy. JT Money, street guy. Trick Daddy. Find him. You come straight out of prison. You staying with me, bro. Standing on business. That's OG shit. You niggas work for people. Influencer. How do you get these things done in your community? It's because I got influence. I use my platform. Brother running for governor, sister, they come to me. How do you think I was sitting there interviewing Kamala Harris, running for president? Huh? Asante? See, you don't know me, and I'm helping educate you and the rest of some of these dumb motherfuckers. Because when I speak on an issue, I'm speaking for all people. I'm speaking for all kids. I may speak on an issue for a kid that plays for me, but I could damn sure tell you, if you go ask any high school coach in America, if a college coach tell that kid, yo, I ain't recruiting no sorry ass school like your school, you go to Boyd Anderson and ask that coach that question. That motherfucker be livid. You call my school what? And if he's not livid, which I know the coach at Boyd Anderson, I know the coach at Ely, I know the coach at Dillon. Them brothers stand on business. You ain't finna talk no shit about their fucking school, no college coach, because he'll have a problem. You understand that? And when them kids get in the portal, do you know who they had to call? They got to call the coach. Mama and daddy can't get them in another college. The high school coach is the one who gets on the phone and go to calling other schools and say, man, my guy is available. My guy, he had a little rough time over there, man. He gonna do good for you. And then you get him in another school, because that is our fucking responsibility, you dumb motherfuckers. Know what you're talking about. Going through the OG. Solid, loyal, principles, credibility. Solid as a rock. Loyal, that's my problem. Loyal to the core. My loyalty is to the core. My loyalty, half of my criminal record was being too fucking loyal, which I ain't proud of. So I say birds of a feather flock together. How many kids I got in college? How many kids in the pros? How many gold jacket ceremonies I went to because I was a great mentor to Cortez Kennedy, Warren Sapp, because I was a great mentor to Ray Lewis. When Ray Lewis got jammed up, you know who taught to Ray Lewis on a daily basis? When they put Ray Lewis on house arrest, bro, do you know the fuck Ray Lewis was talking to? Do you know who went on national TV, interview after interview, and talked about the character of Ray Lewis and what kind of guy he was? It's me. Stand on principle, boss. You don't know me, son. But out of all these texts and these posters that you put on here, Mr. Samuels, but I know where it's coming from. You think it's a Dade and Broward thing. You have a problem because I fought with Dion and you got a problem with Dion. Seems like you got a problem with everybody. I don't know what's going on, my brother, but the best post you did post, which I applaud you for, outside of your career, you was a bad motherfucker, bro. I ain't ever gonna take that away. You bad motherfucker. I'm happy to know you from South Florida. I'm happy to know you from Broward. I'm happy to know that, goddamn it, when I get into these arguments about who the baddest motherfucker, DBs and all that shit and everything like that, I'm gonna be sitting up there arguing for you. I'll be like, nigga, Asante Samuel, 5'9". That nigga was a dog. That's gonna be me because I rep the entire South. I rep Dade, Broward, Palm Beach County. I rep Florida. I rep all this shit. That's why me and Prime is friends to this day right now. It's one of my best friends. That's the type of nigga I am. Lil Duval, that's the type of nigga I am. People call on me from all over the state of Florida. Hey, help me out in this situation here. That's because I stand on business, bro. You don't know me. You don't know who I am. I could sit here for another 2 hours explaining to the motherfuckers whose life I came into and how many kids I saved, and the ones that's not in the NFL, the ones who are homeless. I went online. I said, I need to see this Asante Samuels. Who is this guy? And I saw your foundation doing a great job in 2012 and 2014 and all that. And the housing and all that, they're great things. But I didn't see too much recently. And let me tell you something. The type of brother I am. You're doing some great things. In 2012, 2014, I think you went up to 2019, and the foundation, I didn't see anything else. Maybe you're still doing something. That's great. That's fine. So I'm doing my little research. I'm willing to help you because it seems like you're a guy that want to give back to the community. But at some point you stop. And see, a lot of times, a lot of us are in the spotlight and we have a problem. We're not in the spotlight of going back because we feel like it's a letdown. No, there are a lot of things that you could continuously do in your community, even when you're not in the game. I talked about Malachi Tony. And another little part of it, Beard didn't develop Malachi Tony. His daddy did, Dayla, and all that. And I had some timelines wrong. And it was the bloodline of his daddy and his mama and all this. And yes, Beard developed him and to a degree as to teaching him the college game because you got to go up levels. But you got a son in the league doing real good. I guarantee Asante Samuel Sr. was the one who fucking developed his son. Just get in the backyard, son. Just go out in the park, son. So why is it a problem saying Dayla was a part of developing his son, Malachi Tony? For you to come on here and say all these things, look at this. Throw them L's up. Fools in the comments. That's you, Samuels, trying to make it a Dade and Broward thing. Look at it. Look at this shit. We ain't going down there, son. We ain't doing that. You're not getting ready to create a beef with Broward and Dade like it was back before. No, because it's too much at stake. We've came too far. That's what you're trying to do. That's not grown man shit. Don't do that, boss. Because while you're sitting home at your luxury house or wherever you may be on a Saturday, and these kids come down here from Lauderhill and Sunrise and all over today County, then, oh, Asante Samuel, they throw the fucking nails up. Oh, we got beef with them. No, it ain't like that, boss. We ain't doing that. We are not doing that. Because our politicians work together. We work together. Senator Jones just passed a bill, got a bill passed that I called him up. When the Teddy Bridgewater issue happened, I called Senator Jones up and say, Senator Jones, we need to do something about this. You see, I have conversations with Broward coaches, Palm Beach coaches and all that. And I have conversations with them about, hey, man, fuck that. Them private schools taking all y'all kids and shit. We're having conversations. We're having conversations. Dawg said you don't understand because you was one of the ones who went over to the private school. You opt out, left your community, went over there. So we ain't talking about you. So we had them conversations about how do we keep our kids going into those schools. We'll play each other. I'll get on the thing. Hey, Edie, I'm playing you. So now, Edie, we play, and like shit, you gonna play fucking Luke them. You gonna play the way. So we figured out strategic ways by working amongst each other in the counties because our kids banging against each other. You got kids from Dade going to Broward to play. You got kids from Broward going to Dade to play on the park, bro, and in high school. So we ain't on that throwing them L shit up. You need to stop that. You're a grown man. Don't do that. It ain't about that no more. No, we all won. We saw Florida, boss. So let me just say this. So that's why you see I ain't feeding into that. So another thing I said, I love it. I love it when we educate people. And I'm just saying, real talk. Mr. Samuels can get on the phone with me. He want to reenact his foundation. His foundation is still going and he needs some help or some guidance because that's the thing I do. You call Snoop Dogg up and you say, Snoop Dogg, how did you start this football league? Man, I got on the phone with Unc. And Unc guided me through the shit. Hello, influencer, OG. That's how we communicate. When we had the biggest beef in fucking one of the biggest beefs in hip hop, we can get on the goddamn phone and have a goddamn conversation, Mr. Samuels, with this grown man shit. But one of the best posters you made out of all this, Mr. Asante Samuels, when you say, this is my resume, boom, and you showed your kids. I applaud you. I applaud you. I applaud you, my brother. Because that is what it's all about. That is what it's all fucking about. I applaud you for being a great father. And this, I'm not playing games because that's what the fuck I own. When I partnered up and did Warriors of Liberty City on Stars with LeBron James, we wanted to show fathers in kids' life, whether they was incarcerated and still be in their kid's life. See the kid, Youné Brown? Youné? It's my program. So it takes in. I don't get Tutu Atwell get ready to play this weekend. Tutu Atwell, my program. All those kids come from my program. See Warren Sapp, Cortez Kennedy, Ray Lewis. Who am I missing? Edgerrin James, Ricky Jackson, Bell Glaze. All of them, I missed somebody. I went to all their Hall of Fame ceremony. I went to all their Hall of Fame ceremony. You know why? And you know that's a selective, friends and family members is only a selective amount of people that you pick, people who are influencers in your life. It's because I was good influence in their life. Call up EJ. EJ will tell you what type of nigga I am. Call up Sapp. I'm probably one of the only ones that could talk Sapp because Sapp, you know, Sapp go 12. Call up Ray Lewis. These are gold jacket motherfuckers. You want to know something about me? That's what you need to do. But I'm done with you, Mr. Samuels. I'm not talking about the beard thing anymore because you know what? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Samuels, here's the funny part about it. That's me. Look at the police officer sticker. Look at who's that? Who's that? That's the sheriff. That's the sheriff of Broward County. That's me going to jail in Broward County for doing a show after a Judge Gonzalez deemed my album obscene, basically saying black people can't say the same thing on records as white people, me fighting for free speech, knowing I was going to jail. And you know who stood up for me? And when I went to court, in the court of my peers, and it was in Broward County. The jury was selected from Broward County. That said, no, you will not put him in jail. That said, no, we're gonna overturn this goddamn you saying this album is obscene, boss. My ties to Broward County is deep, bro. Before you was fucking born. So y'all little children need to know your place. Stay in your place. This picture right here. They post this. Look what the picture say. I'm congratulating Nat Moore, who went to the sorry-ass school that Beard said Ray Ray came from, who's arguably one of the best receivers in the history of the Miami Dolphins, whose name is in the Ring of Honor. He went to Miami Edison, and that's us at Miami Edison. Look what I said. Miami Edison alumni, Nat Moore, getting a street named after him and all that. And I salute to another legend, Coach Beard, Hurricane football wide receiver coach. Get that man a fucking raise. It's me. Look at the date. 5/25. 5/25. You know, at that moment right there, that's me endorsing Beard. That's me saying to Mario, give Beard a raise. Do you know at that moment, 5/14/25, Beard had no contract. He didn't know whether he was going to be at the University of Miami or not. And me and Nat Moore were consoling him and telling the brother it's going to be all right. That's me. That's Unc. You come to Unc. And then Unc can endorse Beard on a fucking tweet. Since y'all want to put the tweet up, thank you, Lauren. That's the type of nigga I am, bro. What am I going? Oh, Beard from Broward. I ain't fuck with that shit, man. They over there, man. Fuck that shit. I genuinely like Beard. I just disagree with how Beard handled the situation with Ray Ray. At some point, I will have a conversation with Beard, but I had a fucking problem with that. Beard gonna be all right, because you know why? When I go out and say what I say because of Mario, Dorset, I ain't never asked for a job. Hey, Dorset, I ain't never asked for a job. You know why I can't get a job in college? Because I don't have a college degree. You gotta have a college degree to get a job in college. I don't need a job, Dorset. I still fill up arenas, Dorset. I have a large catalog that I make a lot of money off. Have I been offered college jobs? Yes, Dorset, I have. But when I look at the numbers, they don't add up. I make that shit in a couple of weekends that I have to make in a year. I'm not going nowhere sitting up there 6 o'clock in the morning. I got a catalog. I got a foundation. I have a film company, Dorset, that does very well. I have a music company with a large catalog that we distribute all over the world. I do concert tours. I have a merchandise company, sports and marketing company. Hey, Dorset, I can't. That'd be losing money. That'd be back. Motherfucker, I want to do that. I choose to coach high school football. because I can be right there to mold these young men, and I can be the voice for the community as well as the community of football. So that's why I'm one of the niggas who, I am the nigga who went to Miami-Dade County, Dorset, to the school board, Dorset, and got a unanimous vote to give coaches higher pay. For me, unanimous decision. And I work with the coalition to help coaches around the state get higher pay. Is that a Dade County thing? No. Don't say it. Asante Samuel. You see Miami-Dade County had an Adidas deal? I never said this. There was two people had an Adidas deal in this town. Shevrin Jones, my good friend, and me. You know who spearheaded the deal? Who concocted the whole thing? Darren Hosendorf came to me and said, Luke, I have this deal with Miami-Dade County where I do the marketing and branding and license, but I don't know nobody. I don't know nobody. How can I do something? Can you get on the phone? Do you know some executives or whatever and all this here? How can we do a big deal for the entire district so that they can blossom and they can get treated the way that the other schools and other districts around the country get treated? It was me. Okay, Darren Hosendorf, I'll do that. Even though you've had times where you said something about me and whatever, and all that's behind, because it's about the kids, it's about the community, it's about the entire district. It's about putting something together here that we could then eventually take it to Rocky and say, hey, man, Rocky, here go the deal right here. Hey, Rocky, help all these kids at all these other schools in Broward. Hello, this the nigga who put the deal together, Asante. Me, this is my ideal. Everybody knew there was Luke behind this shit. It's my whole plan. I called Shaq at Reebok. We sat down with Shaq. He'll tell you. Ask him. Ask Carlton. Carlton will tell you. He's still in the Broward County school system. He used to be the principal at Ely. He's still in the system. He get ready to go in the drop. Ask him. He works with Shaq. I called up Nike. Nike thought they had a stronghold on certain schools, but they didn't. And then I was already partnered up with Adidas, because Adidas built me a whole football field at Miami Edison. Miami Dolphins did a whole locker room. This me, using my influence, that OG shit that you talking about, bro. So how did I put that deal together? I called up Adidas because, mind you, Liberty City Optimist has an Adidas deal. It's my way. Edison got an Adidas deal. Let's do a big deal for the entire district. So I get with the president of Adidas and say, hey, man, this is what these schools need. This is what they need to do. This is what you need to do. This is what, hey, get the Big Seven, all this right here. I already have a deal with Adidas, so you don't need to add Edison in. And then we're going to create an entire deal for the entire district where money can go back to these programs. That's me. Darren Hosendorf. I created that shit. To do what? To be able to take the same model and go to Broward, if Rocky wants to do it, if the Broward schools want to do it, because I don't look at it from the lens of you and Dorset, where it's all about a day. Ask Jones. I said, Jones, I want you to spearhead this. I don't got no problem playing backseat. I be sitting in the back in the cut like this. I let everybody take the. It's me. That same model can go to Broward, to help BA, to help Ely, because we already know Chaminade and all the goddamn private schools getting their money. help schools in blighted community, the public schools. It's me. That nigga who you talk about, who don't fit the OG persona. That's what I do. That's why I'm so highly respected in all of these counties. I go to Riviera Beach right now. Hey, Luke. Hey, man. Hey, a parks director got the parks out there. We at Riviera Beach traveling to Dade County, playing football, and the kids from Dade County going to Riviera Beach. And I'm working with my man, John, who was the damn parks director. And John, let's go, John. Let's bring this shit together. Let's bring all the communities together. Come on, what are we doing? Fuck these goddamn boundaries. All this. That's what they want us to do. I'm just saying, Asante, you could be doing a lot of more things with your time, brother, other than fucking with a real nigga. You could be doing a lot of things with your time. Because when I get on the phone and call executives at Adidas, and I get on the phone, call World Wide West, and he put me on the phone with Phil Knight, and I say, I need some shit for my community. Oh, I get it done. I get it done. When I get on the phone with the mayor of Miami, go to my poster, you'll see him on there. Hey, Luke, I love you. The mayor of Dade County. I get it done. I get on the phone with the mayor of Miramar. We get it done. I get on the phone with Shevrin Jones, senator for all of us. We got a bill done. And that bill allows your high school to be able to bus, feed, and all this because we do so much for these kids. We created a Teddy Bridgewater bill. Teddy Bridgewater go through what he went through, and I say, hey, man, okay, hey, Shevrin, we're going to take this bad situation because every coach in the blighted community in the state of Florida goes through the same thing. We got to get the kids home. Some of the kids need something to eat. We know we drop them off to the house, and all this shit is illegal. No. Shevrin, Mr. Jones, this is how we need to frame this shit up. You know how many people who called me from the state? Craig Damon called me from the state, was like, Luke, it's not a good idea. I'm like, no, Craig, because it is a good idea. It's a good idea for inner city schools because your private schools are doing it. They're rolling them damn bands up in the inner city, and it mainly happens in Broward. I'd be sick. To be real with you, I'd be sick when them kids who need to be at BA and who need to be at Ely and who need to be at Dillard is over there fucking around at St. Thomas. I don't like that. They need to be at their school. And lately, because of all of us working together, it's happening. It's happening. They ain't getting the Dorset, the Philip Dorsets like they used to. They had to start stealing from, and that's why you see Ely whooping asses and Dillard whooping asses and MacArthur whooping asses and taking names. The kids are now staying home. They ain't doing like Dorset did, run the motherfucking St. Thomas. And that's why they had to start getting desperate and going to Dade. And when on the downfall of Carroll City, start taking kids from out of Miami Gardens area and bringing them to their schools in those areas. All them big time players played at Chaminade and goddamn St. Thomas. They came from Malachi Tony. When you look at that thing, go back and look at the game. That should say Liberty City. They had to start stealing from Miami Gardens. Now, Miami Gardens got their coach back over there, and Flo Rida and Freezy and all the boys are involved in that and what's happening right now. Oh, them kids are staying over there. It's called influence. Influence, OG. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth thing on the list, ChatGPT, OG, influencer. So that's what I do. If you don't know me, Asante, I'm not going to sit on here and bash you because I like the fact that you're a family man. I respect your entire career. I'm not going to say no slick shit to you. I'm not going to, but hopefully I educated you and other people watching this show today, because I really wanted to get into, I really wanted to go in and get into, and that's what this show is about. I want to get into this here.
People have been asking me about responding to Nicki Minaj's unhinged, homophobic tweet about me. I usually don't respond to this stuff, but let me just say this. Nicki Minaj.
Why am I having technical difficulties? Talking about Asante Samuel, the lockdown corner, who thinks he's better than Dion. Hey, here's the wild part about that, right? Asante got upset and said he better than Dion, which is, he's supposed to say that. I don't think he's supposed to bow down to nobody. Dion, my friend, also. But you know what happened to Asante? Ain't got a funny part about that. Beard went in the room and started with this rant with Ray Ray. You think you better than him? 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 What if that had been a little Asante Samuel sitting there? See, but Ray ain't. Ray like, where is this coming from? You right now, today, Asante saying that, who the fuck is Prime? Why y'all, you. So your man does something to a kid, and I come out here and say, you're wrong, and you are on podcasts talking about how much better you are than Dion. Make this shit make sense. I cannot make this make sense. For the life of me, I can't make it make sense. Well, you know better. We're competitors. Everybody's a competitor. When you're a man and you're a dog, you're a competitor. You ain't bowing down from nobody, which is fully understandable. When you say this, where's this guy podcast? Hey, y'all got his. Y'all ain't gonna believe it. So now this man wanna get on Twitter and talk shit to me when he on there talking shit on the podcast with this gentleman.
This your first time on the channel. Today we listening to Asante Samuel go in on Deion Sanders, Ryan Clark, Shannon Sharp. He's going in. They told me he been acting crazy. I ain't even heard this yet, but we're going to check out what he's saying. As always, if this your first time here, make sure you sub to the channel. Check out the other content and click that like button. That's how they push the video. Let's go.
Shannon Sharp, Mr. Shannon Sharp. Y'all think I'm just supposed to sit here and believe that Deion Sanders, a.k.a. Primetime, is the greatest corner to ever live, and basically no one could ever be better than him? That's basically what y'all want me to believe, that he's the greatest corner to ever live, and nobody shows proof of anything in the past, in the history, his stats. You can show some highlights of what he did, and it looks pretty and whatnot. Yeah, I give him that.
Let me stop it. Stop it. Asante. Is it because I'm friends with Prime? You want to come after me? You say that. And I played that to say this, this man tried to shorty and say, you better than him, you better than him, you better than him. He said, I ain't say that, coach. I respect everybody's body of work, and everybody respect my body of work. But then, well, you can get it apart. So now you want to get mad at me, but you get on the podcast and say you're better than Prime, which you're supposed to. You're supposed to say that. But meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, enough of that. I'm not dealing with Asante. He's going to go crazy. He's going to go crazy on Twitter. Talk about me like a dog. That's fine. Spell my name right. Luther Roderick Campbell. Uppercase. I'm done with you, boss. You have a good life. And, hey, when you have a podcast, bring me on your podcast. We can still talk about it some more. You and Dorset. Dorset, continue having a great year. I respect you, brother, because you trying to cape for your coach, which is understandable because my players to do that too.
To Nicki Minaj's unhinged homophobic tweet about me. I usually don't respond to this stuff, but let me just say this. Nicki Minaj, stop talking about shit for which you know nothing about. This is out of your depth, by the way, and you are a homophobic bigot. You don't care about African Americans. You're not an African American. From what I know, you are reportedly an undocumented citizen, so you should be deported under Donald Trump's rules.
What the fuck did Nicki do to Don Lemon? Hold on.
Your family members, you have one family member who is reportedly a sex offender, the other family member, your husband or whatever, a sex offender is your husband, and one of them is reportedly a pedophile. And you have nerve to talk about me and what you think that I do? Nicki Minaj, get a life. Stop being a pick-me. You should have put a pick-me doll on that damn tweet instead of a Chucky doll because you are nothing but a pick-me.
Fucking Don Lemon. Hey, Nicki, why are you fucking with Don Lemon? I've been trying to get rid of that, do this whole segment. But listen, Nicki, you can't be going and fucking with Cardi B one day and all the new rapping girls another day, and then you want to fuck with Don Lemon. But then when you fucked up, Nicki, is when you took your ass over there with Charlie Kirk them. Hey, look. And then you want to attack Don Lemon and say what he putting in his mouth? And majority of your fan base is gay, which is nothing wrong with gay people. Why would you do that? That's committing something bad. That's not smart. Smart. I hope somebody sit you down because, sister, you're moving it a little wrong way. And then we got this other beef going on here. It's just beefs all over the place.
Chat waiting on, because it seems to me that our friend, well, I don't know if I call him a friend, Stephen A. Smith is talking shit again.
I don't know if you would categorize this as a third rail or a pitfall, as you describe, but in your book, you talk about how when you were first starting with, quite frankly, you were concerned that the Black community might see you as a sellout, as an Uncle Tom. And as you know, some of those criticisms have come about lately. And I want to just play a quick clip to get your reaction.
Sure. To use your platform in order to not only come for me, but consistently kind of have a track record of coming for Black women, I was just very disappointed in him.
They're paying you not for your numbers, my friend. They're paying you because you are willing to say the nasty things about Black people that they want to say.
Your reaction?
They should be ashamed of themselves. Where's your evidence?
Well, Crockett, you have apologized.
Well, let me tell you what I apologized for. Trump followed up what I said by calling her low IQ and stuff like that, which I found appalling. She's a highly educated woman. She's licensed to practice law in the state of Texas, Arkansas, and federally. She's a United States representative. She's an influential, intelligent, decent, good Black woman who cares a lot about Black people in this country. So I apologized for assisting in any way this notion that it's okay to say that.
And so you're supposed to stop there, Steve. You stop right there. You don't go no further. You leave it right there. You're bigger than everybody, Stephen A. Smith. You're bigger than, you got the big platform. You're doing good on TV. You need to have a conversation and sit down. Y'all can do it on this show right here with Joy Reid, Jamel Hill. We need to show how we can work our issues out together. We need to show that because there's so many. The biggest issue in the Black community that we face on a daily basis is the hate for one another. Now, we have difference of opinions, but the things that we do to each other is bananas. The things that you don't see white women attacking white men. You don't see white men attacking white women. In politics, you see it. Yes, you do. In disagreements, whatever it may be. But then you don't never hear the president of the United States calling black women or black people low IQ. You don't have you always hear him say black women low IQ, but you never hear him say white women politicians he disagreed with low IQ. So you got to kind of watch these things. You're straddling the fence, Stephen, when it comes to politics. You want to throw the Democrats under the water for certain things, and that's why these young ladies are saying you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You and Nicki don't know what the fuck y'all talking about when it comes to politics, because this ain't something that you get in overnight. Politics is not something you get in overnight. It's just like sports. We respect you for being the journalist that you are when you was a journalist in the high school newspaper and at the college paper, when you was at the Philadelphia, you was covering. You put in work. You know how this shit work. But when it comes to politics, a lot of these people live this shit, breathe this shit the same way you do sports. So, yeah, you're trying to create a different narrative, and it's coming off as if you're selling black people out by throwing the Democratic Party up under the bus. Democratic Party is made up, and now, mind you, I can speak on this shit. Because everything I went through leading myself up to the Supreme Court was politically motivated. When I got the governor and I got Dan Quayle, the vice president of the United States, standing on the tarmac, talking about Luther Campbell and Two Live Crew, and I got to go through every district court of appeal to fight for free speech. And I can now endorse people like Kamala Harris, and I can endorse the mayor of Miami and guys running for governor and people running for school board and endorse people who running for senator and state rep and all these different things, and you name it, bruh. I've been doing this shit for 100 years. I had to get in. I was into it with my uncle Ricky Sturb, one of the founders of Miami, from the Bahamas. Our family would sit me down and would not allow me to look at cartoons. Him and my daddy, the Jamaican, they talk politics. And they told all of us, this is important to know in politics, because you need to understand that y'all not going to have chains on y'all when you get their age. You're going to have invisible chains. And the invisible chains ain't gonna be chain. It ain't gonna be the chains that the white man put on you. It's gonna be the chains that your own put on you. I was taught that at a young age. That's why I could fight the fight and win at the highest level of government and understand how government and municipalities work, so I could bring in the resources back to my community. That's how I'm able to do those things, because I understand politics and I understand the importance of getting out and vote and doing certain things and being involved in the political landscape of it all. This has been happening for over 40 years of my life. 50. I forgot I'm old. 50 years. So you just can't hop in this shit. And the same thing with Joy Reid. Joy Reid eat, drink, sleep this shit. When you go to fucking with her and people like Don Lemon, I don't agree with everything Don Lemon say. I agree with most of the shit that Joy Reid say. Me and her on the same plane. Jamel Hill was the one who told me, when I was going after you too, when I saw some bad things you were saying, Jamel Hill was the one saying, no, this is a good brother. That's why it kind of fucked me up when Jamel Hill and Kerry Champion was going at you. It was like, what the fuck? Hold on, Jamel Hill, you just told me, calm down. Steve is a good dude, which I understand. And she said it. Steve is a good dude. He helped a lot of people in the thing. You don't need to be here. You need to be the bigger man. Be the bigger man, similar to being the bigger man with trying to educate Mr. Whatever his name, I forgot his name already. But you got to be the bigger man. All these women need to come together. Men and women, I'm going to invite everybody here. Let's all get right here, and we're going to have us a sit down like they used to do back in the old days, a meeting of the minds, because we have too many influential Black people fighting each other that we should not have fighting each other. And we need to show all of our people, this can be a historic moment for us. We need to show all of our people how we all can disagree and agree, but at the same time come together. Do you know how fucking powerful that would be? If Roland Martin, if Stephen A., Joy Reid, Kerry Champion, Jamel Hill, my other brother out of South Carolina, Sellers, we all need to sit down and have us a motherfucking meeting of the minds live and let the entire Black community see how we all can work together, how we all can come together. We can disagree, we can agree, and Jasmine Crockett, and we can all agree and disagree, but at the same time come together and say, because at the end of the day, who the fuck are we affecting? We're affecting us. You're affecting the little kids that are looking up to you all and saying this is what is acceptable. Black man fighting black woman fighting black man, black woman fighting another black woman. That's what y'all pay. That's what y'all raising. That's what you want to raise. That's what you want to raise. That's what you want. And so when kids are in the community and you saying, well, why they shooting each other? Why they killing each other? Why you killing your own? Why are they killing their own? Because they've been taught by us grown-ups how to fight each other and how to hate each other. How to hate each other because of their success. How to hate each other when one is down and one is up. How to put another down. But we never sit down and have a conversation about it. So I encourage everybody, just like the two football players. Come on, we can have a conversation. I will help them, help their community, and help what they need to do. Because it's very important. These things are fucking important. But this is read that. See the date? This was another issue that I had, but it went over everybody here. I ain't say nothing while the season was going on because I didn't want to be the distraction that most idiotic fans wanted to be. This is a problem. So this was a part of my rant. When I say fuck Shannon Dawson, this is what he said on that date. Charlie Kirk died. I don't want no Charlie Kirk unalive. I don't want no. I don't pray on nobody leaving here under no circumstances. Everybody had a right. I fought for the right for Charlie Kirk to be able to say what he wanted to say and how he wanted to say it. I respect that. Whatever you want to say, however you want to say it, I fought for that right for Charlie Kirk to go on campuses and talk shit about black people and say how incompetent black people are, how incompetent the Katanji who went to Palmetto High, how incompetent Supreme Court Ms. Katanji is, how incompetent when you get on it, when he gets on the airplane, how he said MLK was a whore and he shouldn't be respected, and how Nicki Minaj and other people do. Listen, man, this guy here, what triggered me in him was Tommy Tuberville. When he got on here, I'm praying for Charlie Kirk. Why are you up here making money for? See, these people think they're making money from the University of Miami. You're making the money from the University of Miami, but here's the deal. You're making it off the backs of black kids. If them black kids don't, if Malachi Tony don't go out there and perform on a high level, you get fired. If Ruben Baines don't go out there and perform on a high level, you get fired. If Fletcher don't run that motherfucking ball, you get fired. You're making money, you feeding your family off the backs of these young black men. They're making you rich. They're feeding your family. So you want to cape with this motherfucker here? Then you need to go to Liberty or some school like that. You need to go to one of these schools. You don't need to be here. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with you siding with a KKK member, but you coaching our kids in our community. You walking up into households around here talking about how you love the kids and all this bullshit. No. So if anybody want to have a problem with me because I have a problem with Shannon Dawson loving up Charlie Kirk, who talks all this negative, who talk all this bullshit about black people, you can keep hating me. Get in motherfucking line. Get in line. But you need to ask yourself, what the fuck do you stand for? That's my show, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday right here on my YouTube channel, Uncle Luke TV. On YouTube, Uncle Luke TV on YouTube, Instagram, Uncle Luke Real One over there on Twitter, X, Uncle Luke Real One, Facebook page, my fan page. I want to say I love you guys. Enjoy the weekend. I'll see you Monday. Peace. In the words of Walter Cronkite, may the good news be yours.
Make the booty go.
Make the booty go. Make the booty go. Make the booty go. Make the booty go. Make the booty go. Pop, pop. Make the booty go. Pop, pop. I need some bad girls. I'm gonna let y'all hear my new song. I need some bad girls. Come on, baby. Come on, right here. You and you. Come on with that, your fine ass.